Alongside Pierre Nugent, Fox 9 Minneapolis, also run by a large corporation. I understand that my rant, like, again, we have to live within and navigate through the society. That doesn't mean we can't ask them for better things.
Totally agree.
We can't, stop them when they have terrible ideas.
No, and I was thinking as you were talking too, in terms of, college football fans or any fan of any sport really for that matter in any league, when you're sitting there at home and you're seeing something like this and you're feeling the way that Paul is feeling, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking to themselves, well, I am but one man, what can I do? And Paul's absolutely right. What you can do is, as painful as it would be, stop sending your money to places or things that you feel are unfairly treating you. That is the only way that change happens. Yes, we can talk about the voting process and the political system all we want, and that's also very important. But you want to know why anything happens it's the same old cliche that I've heard since I was a child, and that still rings true today. Follow the money. Money stops. Money changes. Things will change. You do have that power as an individual.
You do. It's amazing. So we haven't gotten to talk about the Luka Doncic trade, and it's over now. But you cover the NBA on a regular basis, and I'm sure you walked into that Wolves locker room and they were like, "Huh, what now?"
Yep.
Yep. I mean, like that. Like the players are confused by it.
Correct.
Like that never happens. Like every trade I know of, except for maybe Paul Gasol, that's the other one. Like this is like that, where if you walked in and asked a player from a team that never plays Luka, like plays Luka twice a year, home and away, you went to the Hornets and said like, "Hey, what do you guys think about this?" They'd be like, "Is it fake?"
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Yes. But just to highlight it, Craig, in the aftermath of that, has divorced the Mavericks.
Wow.
A lifelong Mavericks fan has divorced them. Steven Simcox, who hosts the show on Wednesdays with me, he also a lifelong Mavericks fan, is not to that point yet, but he's in the last stages of the marriage counseling before you decide it's over. Like that's where it is. And there's a lot of people like that. So it's possible. And I'll tell you, Craig is not a guy who just says things to say them. When he says he is no longer with the Mavericks, he means it. So it's possible. So if you want to say, like, you know what, forget about the SEC and the Big Ten, like, forget about him. It is possible. You can do it. It takes resolve, but it does. It's going and the thing I look about it, it's going to wreck our whole business. It's going to wreck all of it. And because now you're going to create division, and this has been going on since the SEC decided that they were going to do this, year-round circle jerk of their conference of like, it just means more and doing all that, where it was instead of, Pierre, when we grew up, we didn't root for the conference. We didn't care about the conference.
No.
I wanted my team to win and everyone else to lose.
Correct.
That's how it works. Look, I'm a Red Sox fan. I didn't root for the Yankees in the World Series last year because it would have been good for the AL East.
No.
I've
never understood that mentality at all.
I did root for the Eagles in the Super Bowl because I want NFC East teams to win so much that Jerry goes, "Oh, I'm wrong." Like that's the thing. But I want that out of spite. I don't really care how much joy they feel. Sure. I want it for spite. That's not a productive emotion. That's not a way to get things done. And so
very healthy of you, by the way. Very healthy of you.
Look, I'm aware that what I'm doing is not right. Like, it's not good for me mentally to want teams that I abjectly hate, like the Commanders, to do well for spite. Like, that's not healthy.
Sure.
It's not. I know it's not. It's like eating processed food. Like, I know it's not healthy, but you know what? Damn it if I don't love SpaghettiOs.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
Yeah. So I don't know if I love SpaghettiOs anymore, but like, yes, I love a Pop-Tart. You know what? I'm sorry, but when that thing pops up out of the toaster and it's all like warm and the frosting is like just to the, it's wonderful.
How would you rank the Pop-Tarts too in order? You know, I think I definitely have a strong 1, 2, and 3 for sure. Like
1, I think frosted strawberry.
Yep, that's
number one. Number one. Number 2, and you need to try this. It's more of a dessert than a breakfast thing. But the s'mores Pop-Tart, holy cow.
Number 3 for me. That is number 3 for me. Yes, number 3.
Number 3 for me might be number 2 for you. I don't really venture out from those two all that often.
Those two? Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me is the cinnamon. The cinnamon.
Oh, yeah, the cinnamon. I forgot about the cinnamon. Yeah,
cinnamon is quality. Yeah. High quality. You're right, though. The strawberry is number 1. There's no, it is the king of the Pop-Tart. The strawberry Pop-Tart is number 1.
Yeah.
Close.
They'll roll out blueberry or wild berry, and that's fine. That's fine. Like, I'll have a wild berry Pop-Tart every now and again. Yeah. You know what? Like, it's fine. You know, I'll now that I'm, I'll drink a whiskey that's not, one of my, I don't have a brand of whiskey. I'm a connoisseur, but I'll venture outside my comfort zone with that, just like Pop-Tarts. Like, you know what? Like a month ago, my wife and I saw a wild berry, and we thought, we were, after watching the Pop-Tart Bowl, we're like, oh, that was the one that went in the toaster. Right. So might as well try that.
Yeah. So it doesn't hurt, but like we all know the old faithfuls that never steer you wrong. I mean, that's really the s'more. I haven't had the s'mores one in a long time. S'mores one, I gotta go back. It's delicious.
The s'mores one, like I almost like need to buy the box and then leave just one pack at my house and then bring the rest here and give them away, because I would just sit there and eat them. Like as soon as the 2 were done, I would just go back and do it. And as you know, I'm a big kitchen gadget fan. I got that fancy toaster last year.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. And so I have that fun. I got to use, for the first time since Christmas, got to use my Ninja Creamy that I got for Christmas.
Okay.
You can make your own ice cream. We did that last night.
Wow.
Hot diggity damn. It's unbelievable. I made healthy ice cream, protein ice cream that was unreal. Unreal.
I'm going to have to check this out. I don't even know if I've ever heard of this. I got to check this out.
Oh, yeah. Look, I found out, I'm going to put this bit in my act too, that you can make a lot of shit out of cottage cheese. A lot. You blend some cottage cheese, throw some flavoring in it. Yeah. Nice little base.
You know what? Actually, my fiance puts a little cottage cheese in her in the mac and cheese. She uses that with mac and cheese. It's like cottage cheese is very underrated.
Listen, I know people make, ooh, cottage cheese, but you're just blending it up. It becomes like a liquid. Now this one didn't even have it in there, but I've been, I know. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. The Ninja Creamy. By the way, Ninja Creamy, if you would like to send us one that we can use in the studio,
hey,
I would love that. Or just send me cash I'll make all the creamies and I'll review them. And believe me, this is, when it comes to food, this is a trustworthy face.
And he's not gonna lie to you. You and I are of the same ilk in terms of, like, if there was ever a sponsorship opportunity, so we will absolutely not sponsor stuff that we do not consume ourselves. Like you bang the table, for crying out loud. You believe in it, so you believe in it so much. I mean, what better endorsement can a company get than that?
Guess what? They have another product that makes soft serve that I would love to have.
Oh yeah.
You know what, Emery? As a matter of fact, I gave Emery a little project today. I'm going to add on to your project. You get the ninja people on the phone.
Yeah.
I have a Ninja air fryer. I have the Ninja Creamy. They have a portable air fryer called the Ninja Crispy that you can take with you and heat up your lunch.
Yeah.
They're doing God's work at Ninja. They're doing God's work.
I mean,
of a corporate titan that I will let, I will back Ninja.
Right.
Yeah. You keep letting me make my own ice cream at home, I'm coming for you, Bluebell. No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Hey, listen.
Now you're tugging on Superman's cape there, yeah.
Hey, listen. Ben, Jerry, if you walk out and your tires are slashed, it was me.
Yeah. I'm not afraid anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid anymore.
You dirty hippies can't tell me what to do.
God, it's like $14 for a pint of Ben & Jerry's is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, the ice cream is good, don't get me wrong, but like every time I go to buy one, I said, what am I, a 1%er? This is insane.
Here's the deal. Ben & Jerry are as liberal as you can get. That's where like the liberalism stops.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that's where it stops. Like now, look, they give money to a lot of causes and stuff like that, but also like when you're buying Ben and Jerry's,
yeah,
they're like 85% liberal.
Yeah,
you know,
at minimum,
maybe 75. Yeah, maybe like 75.
Yeah. But when it comes to I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, when it comes to the profits that are up their alley, they're like, whoa, hang on a second, like, well, wait a minute now, let's not get too crazy. Yeah,
that's you can have all the ideals you want, but when you like, so we can charge $14 for a gallon of ice cream and people are going to pay it,
right?
Well, I mean you got to do what you got to do.
Listen, I just keep up with the demand. I don't really make the rules here. I just try to keep up, and that's Ben and Jerry. You can see them probably sitting in a corner, like a dark cornered room, like the mafia. And every once in a while they'll come out and be like, "Well, let's sort this out here for just a quick second, please, because you touch our money. Well, just get ready to get kneecapped."
Yeah, we really they could be there taking LSD or whatever. And look, Ben and Jerry, you do your thing. I love you guys. This is all in humor, but you can take LSD and be like, hey man, maybe we should be $5 a gallon. And then when you come off that trip, you're like, no, not doing that. That was fun. On my little trip, but no, I'm not doing that. So.
I could see that. I could see if that happened, maybe it was actually Ben who had the idea of doing that, and Jerry, kind of in his mind, is panicking but goes along with it, and then all of a sudden, of mice and men's Ben, I could see something like that happening.
Yeah.
Kids, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go read the book. It's a classic.
Yeah. Also a thing we don't do enough anymore. But so Pierre, last thing before we go. They are now this other expansion thing is coming for the NCAA tournament where they want to maybe go to 76 teams. When Pete Thamel reported on game day, loudly booed at Alabama, loudly booed. Last year at Big 12, it was at the Big 12 scouting combine that they had at the Star in Frisco. We were asking, I asked Brett Yormark this. I said, look, there is a lot of talk about expanding the basketball tournament. You were going to leave here and he was going to go over to SMU was it SMU or the AAC? They were hosting, whatever it was. I think the AAC. They're hosting at the AAC. They're going to have, they have games there. Maybe Dickies Arena, wherever it was. But they're going over to that. I said, if you walked in there and got on the mic before the game and asked every fan in there, we would like to expand this, every single one of them would say no. Every single one, because it's perfect as it is. I didn't think I was going to like the play-in games as much as I do. I really do. It's perfect. But if you expand and add more of those playing games for teams that shouldn't be in the playing games to begin with, 68 was my limit. That was my limit. And if it goes to 76, it just cheapens it. And if you're not one of the 68 best teams, you don't deserve to be there. And I thought it was perfect at 64. We didn't have the playing games. I've enjoyed the playing games, and if they even got rid of those, I wouldn't be that sad.
If you're looking for a wheeled cooler, this is the Arctic 52-quart ultralight wheeled cooler. I hauled it on a deck. I hauled it downstairs, upstairs, grass, gravel, sandy road, mud puddles, the whole bit. And I gotta say, it is pretty darn tough. I really do like the wheels and the tow handle. It's easy to hold on to, even when full. It made it 6 full days with ice present, still keeping cool enough temperatures to keep drinks cold. This is a great cooler. And if you're looking for a new wheeled cooler that tows really nicely, this is a great option.
Yep.
64 to 68 is the sweet spot. Instead of trying to make something bigger, look, you can stack all the patties on the bun that you want. Eventually, you start to lose the flavor of the sandwich, right? You can have a 6-patty hamburger, but after that, are you really tasting anything, or are you just shoving red meat in your food hole? It's the same thing with this tournament. Instead of doing that, let's make sure that all the things around the tournament are enhanced to the best part of it. Can you make the regional sites better? Can you guarantee that more people are going to come to the games? Can you get into the biggest thing is, you and I have been to a lot of NCAA tournament games, and I can think about in Jacksonville, Pierre, we had a good full arena in Jacksonville for most of it. But there are games, and this is the NCAA tournament, where you're walking around at noon on Thursday, and you're like, man, I could sit anywhere in this building.
Yeah.
Like you could start at the bottom row and then see how many rows they make you move up before the end of the game. And at certain games and certain sites, maybe 10.
Yeah.
Like maybe 10 rows before you're going to hit one where you can just sit there. And you could have bought seats at the top and come. I mean, like that's just it. So how do you make the attendance better? How do you increase the media value? How do you enhance the television broadcast? How do you make money with everything around it? How do you make that more of a destination event? How do you do it? Like, well, now part of it, and I know that like they like the regional sites and whatever, but I do think they were kind of onto something at the bubble where, you know what, the goal is to get to this one spot and then, I mean, that kind of eliminated, but I don't know. I mean, so
yeah.
I don't know about people staying somewhere for a month. That was kind of hard, but like if they just did it, I don't know. It's hard because it's 68 teams. I get it, but enhance that, like do that better. The one thing I do agree with Greg Sankey is he's going to take some of this football money he's making. They've already pushed basketball, and that's been very successful for them this year, is they're going to put a lot behind baseball and softball because that's the next television contracts that they have. Sure. So, like, they're doing more with women's basketball, softball, and basically, like, how do we enhance this? How do we make this better? Like, as opposed to making everything bigger, take what you have and improve on it because you can always improve. So expanding the college football playoff, I think is look, if you want to make it 16 and have no buys, great, fine, whatever. Figure that out, but don't give me automatic qualifiers. That's insane. Take the top 16 teams, no matter what conference is, and go. Like, well, the conference champion, like, you get 5. The 5 conference champions, and I guess Notre Dame, like, if those 6 teams, like, those are your automatic qualifiers. If Notre Dame falls within the top 16, they're going. If the 5 conference champions are going, and then after that, like the next 11 are the best 11. Bottom line. That's who it is. That's what makes it better. That's what the basketball tournament is. There's no automatic, like everybody gets an AQ for the conference champion, but the Big 10, Big 12, SEC, ACC, Big East are not guaranteed spots. That's ridiculous. And if they expand, that's what they're going to do to this tournament too, because they're not expanding so that there might be 2 teams from the A10 that have identical records and split during the season and one won the championship and the other one can't get in. They're not doing it for the A10. They're not doing it for the Mountain West. They're doing it for those 4. So again, like, stop telling me you're doing it for me. You're not doing it for the fans. You're doing it for you.
I would be hard-pressed to find one single college basketball fan, both hardcore and casual, when March rolls around, who probably go to bed at night thinking to themselves, how can we expand this field? Not a single fan out there, Paul, has ever once thought that in the last 30, 40 years. Do you know why? You already said it. It is the most perfect postseason format in all of sports. All of sports. I poo-pooed it when it went to 68. I'm not in love with the play-in games. However, I'm okay with its place in the format now. Like, I'm okay with it. To expand beyond that is complete lunacy. Paul, you know that you and I love to be in the VIP area. When you open the velvet rope and allow the entire riffraff of the MGM Hotel into the VIP area, does it suddenly feel special anymore?
No.
It does not. It does not. It's not special anymore. There's got to be some level of exclusivity that still makes it special. Things have to be hard to accomplish to make them special. 64 teams. Now, I know it's 68, but to me, in my mind, it's still 64 once you get out of the play-in round. 64 teams is the abject, most perfect idea anyone has ever come up with. And again, the notion that there are people out there who look at this and think to themselves, how can we screw it up in order to make more money, is so mind-boggling to me that I've lost all energy to continue to try to fight this, because I have lost all the words to try to explain to somebody how perfect this situation is. And I have no room in my brain to try to comprehend as to somehow to deal with someone who will sell the notion to me that this needs to be expanded in any type of form.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And I say this as a card-carrying gravy boy. Sometimes supersize is not good. You don't need it.
No.
Just get your – look, thank you, Five Guys, for stuffing the bag full of fries, but I really don't need all of them.
Like you mentioned,
it's just me.
If you stack 10 patties, not only will you lose the flavor, what else happens, Paul? You're going to get sick.
Yeah.
You're going to get sick. You're going to make yourself puke.
Yeah, exactly. All right.